Keen with a counter pick, he's one of the players you can trust. Zeus is another one, but Keen has been able to pull out some crazy rabbits. Last split, his Quinn is one that I still think of.
His
very
Rise,
fondly.
man.
His Rise, another really good one. I'm glad you highlighted. I'm also wondering if we're going to continue to see the Udyr ban as the Corki remains banned, or remains relevant, unfortunately. In this case, though, I think it makes sense because T1 probably want a B1 Azir, which is very in line with what we've been seeing so far in Challengers as well. And you don't want a B1 Azir if Cork is available, because Akali is the counter pick that we often see, but very different style of counter pick where I think there's a lot more room to pressure. As even though Lucian remains, I think, one of the most disliked picks when it comes to how highest priority is versus his success, will still remain very high on the prior list here for both of these teams. It's going to get banned away by T1. And Azir, to me, is kind of the standout. We'll see if that is what they open with.
Yep, Azir is going to be snapped up with the Orianna banned away. That does make a heck of a lot of sense. And now we'll see exactly where Gen.G are going to go in response. Some champions that have been banned away quite a lot recently have been things like Kalista and Varus, if you're looking at the bottom side of the map. But K'Sante has been seeing a lot of bans, but I don't think they're going to be blind picking that one unless they want to flex it into the hands of Chovy. And K'Sante into Azir doesn't sound like the most fun time. And so here we go. Looks like Pays will be heading towards the Varus. A little bit dangerous when you can get swept up a little bit by
we all know.
good old Azir, indeed. As Rakan going to be the consideration for Lehens for the moment. They will lock that one in. Now T1 to round out their first round of picks.
So the one pick that is still available that has been very high on the prio list and has been banned very often is the Kalista.
Yep.
But I do think that Varus is one of the picks that actually matches it decently well. Based on how Keria is looking, though, I think we might have something a little bit more spicy ahead of us. I actually thought they were going to go for Poppy because Oner plays with Poppy. But
all right,
this
the
is why they were
Zeus
giggling. We'll see what build Zeus actually goes for. As mentioned, I feel like Udyr is one of those champions where you can make an argument to build literally anything.
Was it you that was telling me that apparently Zeus has been experimenting with lethality?
With lethality Udyr. I think it was Veldas who mentioned it. But yes, that is a thing that happened. I would not love the counter pick to be K'Sante. It doesn't really excite me. That is what Keen is going towards. I think it was fine in that game. Obviously, he's stuck in a counter matchup. It is quite rough, but we'll see. Gen.G in that previous game, I think mechanically did a pretty decent job, but you did see, which makes sense, this team has completely shifted how it plays. Obviously, Lehens is back, but he only played with Chovy, not with Pays. Pays and Chovy are still there, but with Kenyon and Keen, you have such a different style. And we know how big Peanut was to the success of Gen.G. Getting so much credit from the entire team and the staff many a time. And it wouldn't surprise me if Gen.G needs some time to calibrate. And against T1, I don't think they're getting a whole lot.
Yeah, right out of the gate, it's not to be expected that they will be at their potential.
I want free games, so I'm hoping that they can
it'd be nice. Oh, the Brand going to be banned away here, aimed against Canyon. Brand Jungle really starting to stir things up. Could be going in a whole bunch of places, though. Just have to see, but that's going to be saved for another day. Of course, Canyon does like to be the first one to start playing stuff in the jungle. That's sort of the thing that this guy has been known for a very long time. Sort of pioneered the Nico jungle era. There's only a couple of players that even really tried it. There's Brad to be removed from Keria's playlist. He's got so many options, though. So 4 bans towards Keria.
It's so interesting how quickly we've... Because Rumble, for example, is just going to fall through this draft. Like, this is why I love early metas, especially in this case where preseason was basically not a thing. We are seeing the priority shift so insanely quickly. And Udyr being picked up over the Rumble, I would not have believed you if you told me that. Even a few days ago, this is one of Chovy's most iconic picks. That is a pick that I think is also something that he excelled at, but hasn't really been in the meta for quite a while. We're going to try and really bully this Azir early, try and get as much of the shove as possible. Oh no.
That's a Zeri.
No, Not this after Corki as well. He wouldn't do that to us.
Well, he's only hovering for now. See whether it is the Neela.
Wouldn't mind that.
Gumayusi does tend to like being the first guy to play Neela, and I was thinking that this was the other option, is the Kalista, that Keria is instantly going to hover, and there is Senna. And I actually had Senna on my mind, but I thought that Gumayusi, it was going to be the Lee Sin Senna that they have played before.
Yeah.
And then you can flex things all over the place, find yourself a different jungle matchup, but jungle has been left until last, and so that counter pick option is not going to be there.
Maokai.
The Maokai.
Yeah, I am not convinced by this Gen G draft, Atlas.
I think it would have worked that patch a while ago where Maokai was strong.
Yeah, like patch like halfway through summer.
Yeah,
this would have been a
halfway.
Great draft in patch 13 point summer.
It also would have been banned, most of the bits of it.
Yeah, okay, but we're gonna gloss over that.
So does that mean Paze is paying lethality Varus? Were you actually just like pretending that it's like last year? Oh no. Well, we know how it works in theory.
Oh, we've seen this comp a million times.
Yeah.
You get early prior with Tristana, you have Maokai for the setup and the counter engage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also have Buster Shot into the Apotheosis, which is kind of handy. You can tell Neela to go away, please.
Okay, comfort matters. This is a team that is made of players.
Oh, he's hunting. He's hunting for the straws.
You gotta give me something, man.
Yeah, where are they? We should just keep like a stack of straws on the desk so that you can grasp at them when you need to, because we're out of them right now.
Well, I don't carry any on hand. I wasn't thinking I was going to be grasping straws, but I gotta say, T1's composition obviously is a little bit funky. We have the Neela Senna, which we know that they play well, but can be a bit of a wild card. And from Gen G, the champions are solid, just that they haven't really been meta for quite a while. We'll see if that's for good reason or not, because otherwise, might be going home early tonight, Atlas.
Certainly is looking a little bit dire here. Let's see how it goes. We hop under the rift. I have a feeling that there are mainly T1 fans in the audience here today. That's what I'm hearing. Lol Park kind of erupting a little bit as T1's chant does ring through.
Atlas, you could say that on a nun. Oh.
Yeah, this is a fair bit of damage onto Keria. It does have to flash very early on, Piercing Darkness, just to make sure that Gumayusi is going to be A-OK. And that is going to work out. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Keen has taken a damage or two. Has had to use his Ghost. So we've got a trade of Summoner spells. And I guess Lahen's also used his Ignite. So it's going to be positive for T1.
And they are going to start towards the red side of the map here. So I might have some vertical jungling happening because Keria needs to really respect. Normally, I think the level 1 of Senna is something that you really want to play towards. But now, I don't know if that's really going to be something you can do. They're actually using, that's really interesting, using the Udyr here to allow Oner to clear through the Raptor camp faster. Very cute tech here.
Good old fire circle assistance. Love to see it. Canyon going to be by himself on his one, as that is a grand entrance. Nicely done there by Lahen. Zero follow-up, but looked cool. Definitely did.
Yeah, there was no E available for Paze, so you can't really do that much. Also, you don't have your Blight yet, so you really want to try and get that. Halo Blades does mean that this is going to be lethality, as we do with the vertical jungling here. Both junglers are aware that is what's happening. I say vertical jungling, though. I would not be surprised if Canyon is only able to get himself this and not more, because as we can see, Faker's actually doing just fine. Also had what is probably the most iconic play of Lost Worlds.
Yeah.
Against Paze's predecessor on the same champion.
So you're saying that he's pretty good at Azir?
Yes, I would say so. And I think Azir is obviously in a great spot right now. We'll see if Guma and Keria are able, even with no flash being available, I do think that the power level of this Neela Senna is really hard to deal with. And if they can just stay in lane relatively evenly, then they are going to win out with the passive. As Zeus doing what Udyr does, just having a great old time proxying.
Yep. living his best life. We'll see what the build is going to be, whether he's going to have the third unique one of the day. Would be very cool. As we had a little bit of damage mixed in from Dundun.
So Keria doesn't have flash.
Was he just spotted? He was.
They did spot him. I don't know if it is going to matter, though. We'll see. Keria, it just hits level 3. Gumayusi has cleanse, not really that juicy of a target, even though his health bar is lower, and doesn't look like they're really going to be able to do anything here.
All right, Chovy jumping on in as Oner turns up. Does find the reset, and there is the flash away from the Sonic Wave. Still, flash does come out, gets the thumbs up there from Chovy. As we can see, Canyon prioritizing some shellfish here. We'll see how he does. Yeah, that is going to be the secure. And gets his way out.
So, kind of rough there for Gen G. So, they aren't able to make anything happen towards the bot side of the map. Oner is going to be a buff up. He's going to get a triple buff, whereas Canyon only got his own blue buff. And then outside of that, isn't able to pick up the bot side Scuttle, even though his bot lane is cryo. He did pick up the Krugs, but that really isn't going to feel too great. Still a trade that Oner is happy to take. Only thing is that Oner did use his flash, but he traded for Chovy's. So I think he's still going to be decently happy. And to me, the question is, what does Guma pick up? Is he actually going to go for the double support item again? Doesn't look like he wants to do it, and I think it does make sense on the Nila. Might be a lot harder to... Because I think you can do it for other items, but you mostly want to do it for Bloodsong. And I can imagine on Nila it's harder to proc reliably than it is on the Lucian. We'll see, maybe he picks it up later. As Zeus, I'm not loving the Cassante counter pick, Atlas.
Yeah, but I'm loving the Udyr, man. It's inspiring me. Maybe I'm not just going to only play Garen. Maybe I'm going to play Garen and Udyr.
Yeah, but I feel like with Udyr, we're just in a honeymoon phase. Like, oh, cool, a new champ. And then within, I'm going to say 2 weeks, we're like, oh, it's Udyr. He has free prio in every lane.
No, but I love that. Remember, I'm a Garen player.
Okay, yeah. You know what?
You know how many years it's been.
I don't know what the opposite of preaching to the choir is, but that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you're preaching to the wall or something.
To the wall?
I'm not sure.
I think
what's on the other side of the choir?
I don't know.
All right. Oh, somehow Keria threads that needle. Looking really nice. Zeus living his best life between the inhibitor turret and the inner. As, yeah, we don't really have too much action. However, Oner looking to try and change that just a little bit. This time, Chovy no flash. But should be able to make his way out. Does give the good old thumbs up as Canyon is having a bit of a battle with a dragon. Going to call in some reinforcements here as Pays and Lahens turn up as well. Chovy, some honey fruit, going to be gifted to him. As Ward goes down, but Oner knows that he's not going to be able to dive into 4 people. Unless something can happen here as Gumayusi diving forward. We do have Lahens making his escape as Faker can't team up with the rest of them just yet. Oh, unless, no, not quite the angle. Rocket Jump going to get Chovy to safety. So Gen G, nice and successful, secure themselves the first dragon of the game.
Despite the double unless, not a lot happening there. I actually thought that they might go for it. Lahens really taking a big risk there because he took the Senna binding through the rest of his team and it was okay, but that could have really backfired. Would be one of the most Lahens plays possible to just doom your team to certain death. Gen G do get away with the early Drake, which they're going to be happy about, but they do have to pay for it, I think, pretty dearly. Especially because Lahens did get chunked substantially, meaning Pays is alone in this lane, not having the best of time. So takes a hit there, trying to set up for Lahens, but Keria and Guma not going to get caught that easily.
Yeah, Apotheosis is going to pull them both in. Just going to get Pays down a little bit low. Of course, Lahens welcomed back to the lane by a delivery of 50% on his health bar.
And this is also the power of the Nila. They are both level 6.
Yeah.
Like Lahens just hit 5 like just a few seconds ago.
Whose jungle is this?
It's not Maokai's, I know that.
I feel like it might be Oner's jungle. Oh man, imagine.
Oh, that would
imagine if he
I think Canyon hurt. He kind of deserved that, man. He's been having a rough time.
He certainly has. He's still within touching distance, looking for the Nature's Grasp. And once that does come in, there will be a bit of power added to Gen G. Similar flavor of composition than the last one, with Chovy playing once again an AD carry. Taking a bit out of the Chaos playbook from Season 1.
It's really all about throwbacks for you tonight, huh?
Well, it really is. I mean, he's playing Tristana and Corki, right? Like 2 of the original AD carries a bottom lane. So that is what he's going for this time around. Shout out to any Baylife fans from TSM
from way
like
back
2011. Good times. Faker here in mid lane, clearing out the minions. Is down a little bit in farm, but nothing to worry about whatsoever. And with Chovy now going back, should be able to even things out on that score. Keen looking a little bit worse for wear. And having a look at the items, we've learned nothing yet as to what Zeus is going to be building. I'm just hoping it is just one tank. Damage item and full tank. That's what I want.
I think it's just full tank. But hopefully he'll learn from Dundun.
I think Dundun had the right idea though. Like, become at least a small amount threatening.
All reliable always has the right idea, Atlas. Yeah. I just don't know if everyone else will follow. We'll see if he picks up a Haunting, guys. We can rejoice. Otherwise, probably just going to be the full tank build coming through from Zeus, who is fighting.
Going all out. Zeus is going relatively low. He can press W for that shield, does do so, gets a whole bunch of his health back, and Keen has pressed so many buttons, and it has done next to nothing. Does call in the tree, as there's the Dawning Shadow, and first blood goes to Zeus! Oh no! Chovy should be able to get this kill, but I feel like the damage has almost been done. Oh, this is so silly. It's taking them forever! Oh, okay, Zeus will be taken down. The Arcane Smash going to help get some CC there. Oh, dearie me.
Starting to see why Oner was banned.
Well, Oner is also going to find Chovy face check in this brush. Kick does come back. Faker also going to be delivered an assist. And even Zeus gets an assist on it.
I want you to
and chances of winning, yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, I don't even want to get into that. Look at the amount of control that they have as well, right?
Yeah.
You have look at the top side. You got what, 5-6 wards throughout all of that. Oner's going to be picking up. I think he got all 3 last time. I don't know if Kenyon got 1, but he's definitely going to get 5 out of 6 here. Is Oner. So actually, he picks it up. But T1 going to be very happy with that.
Void Mites
picking up this many. And it looks like, based on the number on the screen, actually Kenyon didn't get any, didn't actually have the prio. Because Chovy got killed. He got 1v1. Well, Faker helped a little bit, as Zeus, I guess.
I mean, technically 3v1.
Yeah, okay, but it didn't feel like that, did it?
No, it didn't.
And now, Gen.G still in this game. You know, 2k gold deficit at 11 minutes. It's bad. It's not insurmountable, but it's about the feeling. And if we don't see any big plays coming out from Gen.G, it's going to be even more of an uphill battle. And the big difference with last time is that it is not like Gen.G has a really necessarily big scaling advantage. Has really nice catch here. Buster shot unfortunately doesn't do it.
나이스. 얘 텔은 잠깐만.
We might get a translation of what he
Drakes
exactly
would be
said.
Big, though.
Yeah, okay, Oner going to go in. Not going to be able to steal away the Drake. And now Gumayusi, okay, Nature's Grasp going to come down. Twisted advance to try and push the Neela back. Gumayusi should die here. And they actually use the ultimate beautifully from Canyon to make sure that the result isn't going to be there. Another Infernal Rift, 3 in a row. And Gen.G even out the kill score, so nicely done. Zeus, I love that we just keep watching the Udyr laning against the Cassante. Sad times for Keen there towards that top side. As we're just doing our defense as best we can. Lahen's regretting his decision to go in there. Hayes with some free time in the bottom side of the map. We'll clear out that lane.
Now, if you're an optimist, if you're a glass half full kind of person, then Gen.G just got a dragon.
Yep.
They got 2 Drakes, you know, and Inferno is on the board.
Oh dear.
Surely he doesn't get away, just walk away, right?
So many of the plates. As Keen has gone all out, Dawning Shadow comes in yet again. Zeus doesn't have a whole lot. He can just walk real fast though. Oner's moving up, and now Keen is the one that could just be dead. No, not going to be the case. They don't want to rub salt in the wound. Good guy T1 going to be able to let him live for now. Very kind of them. Oh dear. This Udyr situation is getting a little bit out of hand. However, Keen has evened out farm. That is certainly a good thing. He has that item with a name that I don't understand. It does just look like a Gacha Claw though. So maybe I can just call it a Gacha Claw.
The Claw. Just call it the Claw?
The Claw, yeah.
From the movie?
Yeah, from the Toy Stories.
Oh no, I mean the Claw from Liar Liar. The claw. It's the claw.
That one, yeah. But don't the minions also say that claw in
I don't know. I have
Toy Story? No?
As we take a lot of look at this one, Guma unfortunately a little bit too far forward, and against Maokai in particular, can't really afford that. I wonder if T1 was looking to go a little bit more aggressive there, but obviously Maokai has not been in the meta for such a long time. Forget what his ultimate does.
Well, King doing some punching and fighting and stuff, and there says circle. And that is precisely the outcome of the situation. It's gone for the Frozen Fist, so it is going to be the full tank Udyr build. Making me a little bit sad. I really want to see the Leandri's version. I want that circle to hurt, you know? As Canyon going to be punching Oner away, finds a twisted advance now.
No!
Corruption. Oh, the anti-synergy. Doesn't matter. He's still going to be able to grab that kill. So it's as if he landed the ult. Right, guys? Just had to put a rocket jump on cooldown.
He didn't have to use his ultimate. Although it is lethality Varus, so like your ultimate, doesn't really matter. You have so much ability haste just from your items that I do think that you're not too bothered. As I wonder
if you're really worried about it, you can build the hex plate, right?
Sure.
There you go.
That solves the issue. New items give us a lot of opportunities. Kind of wondering what items Zeus was going to go for, or Pace rather was going to go for. As we do take a look at the plates, I haven't really been talking about them that much, but the combination of the Senna relentlessly pushing, plus Zeus with Perma Prio, plus Faker with Nashor's first has just not been a good time for the base of Gen G. At large, a lot of plates have been taken, but the gold is getting close to being even. It's only for a second because mid lane turret is about to fall, and once mid lane turret falls, the gold lead is going to be in favor of T1 again. Oh. But it is better than it was, and it might have an angle here. No, they don't.
The turret goes down.
Turret's even go. Oh, come on.
Yep, the mites were cans in that particular position. Chovy going to try and answer here towards the bottom side, rapidly firing down this turret. We'll be able to collect that one there. Chovy alone in a side lane. His natural habitat, his preferred location. And the explosive charge going to secure that one. So happy times, at least in this small moment.
So if they get this dragon, actually really like Genji's chances, because I do think that a double AD carry composition with a Inferno Soul is going to be feeling great. Now, will they kill Zeus? Eventually, yes, because he is just building Frozen Heart next because he's playing into a full AD composition, which we haven't really talked about, but Genji doesn't have any source of AP. I guess Paze eventually could pivot as Lehens.
Ow. Goes back, snares up Paze as well, as Lehens dashing around. Did have to use the ultimate. And will survive, but it looked a little bit dicey there. Bit of a battle towards the top side. Wet Noodles out. That's
big, though, because they didn't invest that much. Only the Clans of Guma. Whereas Genji most definitely did.
Well, there's the Emperor's Divide used defensively here by Faker as Chovy gets on over there. There's the kill to start this one off. Nature's Grasp going to miss onto Oner. They got their target that they were looking for. T1 continuing to push, though, here as we head towards the mid lane. And Lehens not going to stop this. Looks like Soul Point going to be priority for Gen G, but is sacrificing this inner turret going to be worth it is the answer.
If they get it. If they get it, yes. If Oner steals it, absolutely not.
Well, Resonating Strike not going to come in, and the kick going to be used on Chovy just to get him out of there. Red buff now going to be looked at here by Oner, but look at this. It's an inhibitor turret and an inner.
Guys?
I'm going to say almost not worse, as Chovy going to bust a shot Gumayusi away. He has a blast cone there. All out going to be used by Keen here as he finds Keria. And Keria nowhere to go. Oh, flashes into the wall. That is not what you're looking for. Almost a double kill for Keen as Gumayusi goes down as well. But the damage has kind of been done.
No, I'm still calling worth. Your main carries are fed. You set up soul points. You do pay for it very, very heavily. I do like the call from T1 to just fully send it and not care at all. A little bit overzealous, but it ends up working out. But Gen G, if they get Inferno, so I think it's going to solve so many of the issues that they will run into otherwise. As we do see T1 wanting to contest here, I think looking for the collapse with their bot lane duo as well, but then Gen G calling their bluff, and the CC chain, once it starts landing, is really strong. Big heads off to the layering there, actually able to get Paze's ultimate. Nicely done. And then here, Keria and Guma, they knew what was going to happen. The moment that they kept pushing, not just for the enabling turret as well. Keria, tragic flash. Don't think he would have gotten out otherwise, but maybe with the little embers on the floor, it could have been enough. But at the same time, this feels somewhat similar to last game, and we all know how that one ended. So I'm not getting my hopes up just yet for a game Atlas, but it's not looking bad.
It's on the cards. I think it's still in the deck, you know?
Look at that. He built a new item. It's opportunity.
Yeah, there's an opportunity for victory.
I don't...
Oh, look at that drifting. Love to see that.
Both hubris and opportunity give play-by-plays too much power. I don't like it.
No. We would never do that. Me and Medic, both of us, never said anything that's not just the best. Just straight up and down what it is, you know? As we do have the Rift Herald charging into the inner turret, that is going to remain standing for now, but last legs just a little bit there. As Oner looking to steal away yet another buff, and does so.
Meanwhile, in mid lane, or sorry, any side lane really, Chovy
doing some hitting structures and owners. Did do that. So the turret in mid lane going to be faring the same way as the inner on bottom side. But this is still the outer turret that Gen G have yet to deal with, and they don't have an inhibitor turret in the mid lane. So we've got some work to do. And they have a composition that does kind of like having some map control, setting up some sieges, being able to move your vision line forward, stuff like that. It is not something that they have the ability to do just yet. Getting set up around these areas is tough as Baron's purple glare moving towards the pit as Chovy almost avoids the Emperor's Divide.
And basically, if you're wondering opportunity, there's two really cool new items. Hubris is my favorite, where every kill you get statues in base, and then the statues give you AD when you kill someone. Opportunity is kind of the opposite, where
it takes statues away from your base?
No, when you're out of combat for I think it's 8 seconds at a time, you get extra lethality. So it's great for poke. It's great if you're something like Rengar that deletes people in the first couple of seconds. Oner.
Yeah, he is going to get CC'd forever and die. So that blue buff kind of costing him just a little bit there, as we could see, and in fact wasn't able to secure that either.
You know,
blue rotating around Gen G.
I think that was because of the new rift. It just takes some time to get used to.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Chovy clearing out minions towards that top side. An opportunity to potentially get towards a Baron pit, but there is Scuttle Vision available for T1. So Gen G would be giving full information over. Taking this out of turret top lane, certainly going to be helping out though, and they might move towards a gold advantage for the first time this game. And it's not quite there yet, 200 gold, but not too much in it. I have a game on our hands, and it was looking a little bit off the rails in the early stages of the game.
It's the first time they get a gold league this LCK season now.
Oh my, all of 2024?
Yeah. As Oner, it's Maokai, man. You can't contest your bot like that. He's trying.
I mean, it's Maokai and everyone else.
Well, yeah, but just Maokai alone should be enough reason not to try and take some risk there, because now we do have Gen G with control of this river, and if they get this Drake, could be potentially setting them up for an incredible position in this game. We do have Oner on a flank angle, and some big one-buff potential from Guma and Faker. We'll see if T1 can actually get it.
Kane dashing forward, finds a Q onto Zeus, the probably least optimal target for him to hit with that one. As Gen G, they slip back into Fog of War towards this Drake that has just spawned. And getting a setup around an objective is what this composition wants to do. As Canyon pretty far away from it for now. Nature's Grasp up and available once again. As Faker down to 50%. Oner lurking on a flank angle.
They can push for inhib. Gen G needs to force.
Yeah, Zeus just trying to be annoying in that front line. Oner can get the kick into the back line. Empress Divide onto 2 as well. The Wombo combo's in. Lance tries to get it done, but there is no Varus. There's no Tristana. And T1 have found yet another one. But Keen trying to find it. Does get a decent angle, but the Neil is still up and available, and she does so much damage. Plan's trying to get to his base, but once again, it's the T1 team fight. Don't think the game's over as much as it was in game number 1, but it's looking rough.
Still looking bad for Gen G as T1 Oner. This entire game has looked, not great, but it doesn't matter. That play right there takes away so much agency from Gen G, disallows them to pick up a soul. As Zeus laughs at you are Maokai and Rakan, you're not doing anything to me.
I'm really glad I didn't have to play-by-play any of that.
Yeah, and hopefully you won't have to as look at that.
Gorgeous.
A 3-man knock-up, immediate delivery of pace into the backline, and then crucially, Zeus and Guma also ensure that pace, Chovy doesn't actually get to play the game either, because just getting pace isn't enough. You need to get both carries, and with that flank from Oner, you simultaneously, you completely kill the front to back.
Watching Varus, watching Varus.
Also does half of Tristana's health. Focus Tristana, he says.
Oner just knows. And it was beautifully orchestrated immediately. Faker was there with the sweep. Varus not able to play the game. And it's another teamfight win here for T1 in game number 2. It's not over. It wasn't the situation we had last. We did kind of lose our monitors here on the... They're back, never mind. Now I can see.
Canyon does have a cool KDA though, which I do feel obliged
He is
to call out.
Secret Agent Canyon. Will that mean that he can infiltrate this Baron pit?
Sure. And unlike last game, I do want to reiterate, I do think Gen G is still very much in this game, but with fights like that, you do have to be worried about the angles that T1 seems to see that no other team can consistently find. And it's the flanks that I think Gen G is really going to have to keep watching carefully. They did have an idea that Oner was in that general vicinity. He was spotted earlier on. I think he also used a Scryer. But if you lose track of him, if you lose track of Faker, these big teamfight ultimates can be used so easily on pace. Varus, as we all know, if no one gets to him, he's quite strong. But even with Flash, if they ever get on top of you, you're in deep trouble. He hurts, though.
He certainly does. He needs to be able to... Oh, Keria in a little bit of trouble, gets Buster shotted away. Keen not able to find the Q. Now Nature's Grasp comes in. Zeus soaking as much damage as he can, which is quite a lot, as it turns out. Hayes gets the transformation mid-fight, and they finally get the outer turret in the mid lane. That's what Gen G wants these fights to look at, not fully committed. If T1, they manage to sink their teeth in, and it's initiative, right? It's like T1 feels like the ones that are always dictating the plays, and that is something that has been prevalent to a lot of our teams that haven't been playing together for all that long. It's one of those things.
Yeah, just T1 against everyone.
Well, yes, it's kind of T1 in general.
But I do agree with you. And Gen G in particular, even their best iterations, as we've seen over the last, like, 2.5 years, haven't necessarily been amazing because they play a great early game. Now, of course, we've seen Peanut like completely run over teams. We've seen Chovy completely run over teams. But against teams where they are evenly matched, it feels like this is more what they're looking for, which makes it a little more important. And to me, the pivotal members on Gen G aren't actually Chovy and Paze, although obviously they need to position well, but Keen and Canyon, because they are the ones that needs to mark the threats to their carries and ensure that they don't actually get flanked, that they don't get caught off guard, like T1 might be caught off guard right now.
Yeah, Zeus has teleport, but he is just walking his way up, decides to pull the trigger. And now with the teleport, Gen G are just going to back away.
I think they could have tried, but they didn't want to take the risk.
Not wanting to opt into any sort of 50-50. It's not like a Rel situation like they had last time, as that's a nice little snare. There's the flash into the backline, finds Paze. The follow-up just not there, though, as Chovy just says goodnight to Faker. And all out coming through once again here is Zeus going down low, but he's an Udyr. Low is a weird term to talk about when it comes to him. So, just to pick off here for Gen G, and now they can slink back towards the Baron. Try to pick that one up. Chovy going to get tagged by a Sonic Wave, but no follow-up available here. A little bit of extra gusto, perhaps, from the T1 mid laner, and now a teleport back.
Senna healing. Oner still there.
Yeah, Canyon actually getting relatively low. Keen at full health because he just teleported back, but Paze possibly vulnerable.
Faker in 10.
We'll see whether they actually go for this one as the Baron getting lower and lower. Chovy auto-attacking it. And it looks like Gen.G are a little bit split on the decision. There's the Q from Keen, it's big! It's Gumayusi, the apotheosis! And T1 will find the team fight! The Baron goes down! Yeah, Canyon manages to get that one. Chovy's still alive as Faker dead once again! And he gets the Baron. That is certainly good news. First death goes over to Canyon as the triple comes in. There is one Baron up for Gen.G, but will the Nexus be there?
Oh, I think with Chovy up and the Baron buff being there, there's no opportunity to enter, but T1 is going to pick up a second Dragon there. And that means Gen.G, yes, they get the Baron, but the sustain from Senna being the big difference maker to me there. The amount of healing that Keria was able to do meant that you can see the health bar slowly go down. As we take another look at this play, this initially looked, with that root landing, like they were going to be able to just 100-0 pace, but this time Keen and Canyon actually get the zone control. They actually create the space. And Faker immediately gets blown up, obviously, as Nazir amongst many enemies. Look at this, the health bars on Gen.G go down. But for T1, they're basically staying the same. Zeus does so much work, and even though Gen.G is able to get themselves the objective of taking down Oner, the team fight is won. Faker cheapies in, and then Chovy just kills him.
Yeah. I feel like Chovy and Canyon communicated that one really well to one another, and the other players were just doing things.
Yes.
Because they focus Oner, they get him out of commission, and then they secure the Baron, and then they're like, all right, guys, let's get out. And they're like, we're already out. We made it out the other way.
But Gen.G does have a gold lead.
Yeah, there we go. Rebel Baron power play sitting at 2.3k. As Keen dives on top of Zeus once again. The wet noodle fight, really epitomized by these two gentlemen on the top side of the map.
Should have built a Rift Maker.
Should have built Leandros. I want to see that one. Not to be the case, though, as Chovy taking a little bit of damage here. Keria continuing to stack further and further on this center. Zeus moving into frontline position. As the defense continuing to come in here from T1. Buffed up Siege Minion. Going to be taken down there by Faker, thanks to the Sand Soldiers. He is going to be standing back. 3 items.
Oner.
And the Band Scepter coming in here as, Oner looking for that flank angle. Gen.G, there's the Nature's Grasp. Everyone lining up behind the Udyr as the explosive charge does so much to Gumayusi. Dawning Shadow comes in. There is the Udyr going down, I'm sure. As Grand Entrance comes in, they pick off Faker once again. It's a double for Chovy, and Gen.G may have just found it. They may have found another game as Gumayusi tries as he might, but it's not going to be enough. And Chovy now is on the onslaught. Structures, they bother him, and he is just cutting them down where they stand. 7-2-6 on the Tristana. They are not stopping here. First Nexus turret going to be taking down. Explosive charge doing so much damage. Oner and Keria, I just don't think they're going to be able to stop this. As Gen.G now getting to work on the next Nexus turret. In goes Oner looking for some sort of kick, but doesn't quite find it. Chovy able to take down Keria. And there goes the Nexus. We're going to a third game. And Gen.G are taking us there.